And in this video, we're going to walk you through how to use our sales dashboard tool inside of Business Central. So let's go ahead and jump right in. The first thing you're going to need to do after you've downloaded our app from App Source is come up to the search and just type in SDB. We will then see a few options here. We want to start with that setup to make sure that your demo key is activated. So first thing you're going to do is come up here and click Generate Demo Key. That is going to give you a demo key down here that you can see, and a key expiration date as well. Should give you 60 days to test out and play with for free. After which, if you would like to continue using the app, reach out to us and we can provide an activation key that's good for either 1, 2, or 3 years, depending on what you choose. Once that's provided, you'll come up here and click Enter Activation Key, enter the key, and then you should be good for the duration that you've purchased. So again, once it's expired, feel free to reach out to us and we'd be happy to provide that to you. As you can see here, the setup then from there is actually pretty light, right? We only have a few things that we need to fill out, then the dashboard will be working great for you. So first thing here you can see is data source, sales by customer. You can just choose here whether you want that sales data to go off your sales invoices, your customer ledger entries, or your general ledger entries. Again, just depends on what windows and screens and tables you're mainly using. Some people are using more sales journals versus sales orders and sales invoices. So again, just depends on where a majority of your sales data lives. After that, we've got exclusions, both from GL account from sales and exclusions from resources from sales. So again, if there's anything you want to exclude from these dashboards, you can do so there. Then the last one here is this Geo view. So I've got it set to combined right now. You can also set it to be separate. You can set it to see the world view only or the US view only. So again, this is the first metric and graph I'll show here next, but you can either combine those, see just the world view, or see just the US view. So last thing here is going to be the user setup. You just want to make sure that all the users who are going to be accessing the sales dashboard are set up here. You see that I've got myself here just with a few other things. So you can set the dashboard view that you want to default into. If you want to start the timer similar to our financial dashboard, where it will cycle through both different dashboards as well as do different refresh rates, which you'd be setting right here. The dashboard date range, you just set the default range that you want to see upon logging in. Cycle view, if you enable that, it will cycle through the different tabs as I've just mentioned. And then these different dimension by dimension rows and columns, we'll get into that, but this would just default what you want on the X and Y axis when we go into our dimensional analysis. So again, just make sure the users are set up there so that they can access the sales dashboard, and then you are good to go. So let's go back up to the search and type in SDB. And we'll go right into the sales dashboard. So once we get in here, it is going to open up the default. As I mentioned, the first thing that we're going to see here is the US and the world sales. So again, remember, I had that view as combined. What this is going to do is it's going to allow us to see the US and the world view side by side. So again, you can see pretty much all the sales here are in the United States. So in this case, I may want to only enable the US map since the world map doesn't mean as much in this demo instance, right? So that would be the different toggle. You can enable what you want to see, or you can view them separately, in which case there'd be 2 tabs up here, one for US and one for world. So let's jump into this metric. As you can see, there's 4 different things here. 2 data grids on the top, which is going to give you the actual detail that you're looking at in the map. And then you've got this bubble map down here. So again, kind of just showing small, medium, large bubbles depending on the volume in that state. This is just a quick view you can look at to see in general how much volume you're doing per state. You can see up in the Midwest and up in the Northeast doing more sales than, you know, out west and in the Northwest over here. So again, just some good things you can look at. If you go into any of these and click on them, it will show you what makes that up. Again, if you're in this grid up top here, maybe you want to see what you did in Oregon, for example, you could click on that and it'll show you exactly the invoices that make up that balance. Same thing over here on the world view. Of course, it's just aggregating everything here. And then if you wanted to break it out by different date ranges, you could come in here and do last 30 days, for example, to see what you sold in the last 30. Maybe you wanted to do the last 3 months. It's just going to give you filters based on the range that you pick. So that's a little bit about the Geo sales dashboard. Let's go into this by date tab. Definitely one of the most popular, I would say, here. So you can see quickly how much sales data you've had today, how much sales you've done this week, month, and year. Again, if you click into any of these, it'll show you exactly what makes up those sales. Down here, we've got some charts and grids, so you can see sales by date. Again, I could go last 30 days and it's going to update that grid. I could go last 3 months. It's going to update the grid to the last 3 months for this chart. Over here, we've got year-to-date sales by year, so it's going to show you the last 6 years, so you can see all that data. Again, if I click into any of this, it's going to show me everything that makes up that balance. And then down here, we've got a month by month. So this is going to show current year. You can see here 2023, January, February. Obviously, we're not into March yet. If you click into any of these again, it is going to show you all the data that makes up that balance for this month. So a few different grids there we can look at on the by date. Let's jump over to the by item. In this case, we've got 2 different grids. So the first one is going to be customer by item category sales. So here you can see all the different customers and the different item categories across here. So I've got finance as a service, licensing, professional service, and then it'll show you the totals. So you can kind of just quickly scroll through here to see who's doing what. And then down here as well, you've got just a high level item category grid, not specific to any customers in this case, but you can see, let's go to the last 30 days, for example. We can scroll over here and just see, okay, day by day, how much sales did I do in each category? If you did something like last 3 months, for example, it's going to give you more of a range per week. So depending on the date range that you have, it's going to split up those dates in a different manner as well. Let's jump over to the dimensions now. So this is what we talked about during the setup, where you can set up the grid. So it's x-axis by y-axis. Right here, you can see my dimension by dimension sales. Down the y-axis here, I've got my different product codes, which is a dimension that I actually use from another tool called Auto Create Dimensions that we have. All of those dimensions are being auto-created, and then I've got it split out up here by salesperson. So depending on who sold what, we can see totals to see, who in the organization is selling what type of products. You can see that quick grid, and you can even open it in Excel if you'd like. Then down here, we've got a few different sales metrics and graphs. We've got a sales by customer and a sales by product. So again, you can see trends by who's buying what and who's buying what products specifically, or what products are being sold. Then finally down here, we've got a sales by dimension. So you would pick what dimension that you want to display. Then you can see the trends over time. So again, I've got my product selected as my dimension here down this y-axis. And then across the top here, we've just got, again, date ranges that we're going to use to see, okay, how are certain products trending by certain date ranges. Got a few more here. Salesperson, definitely another popular one here. So you can see by salesperson, who's doing, what type of sales throughout time. Again, all of this you can toggle between all the different date ranges we have up here. If we wanted to see who's selling what in the last 30 days, this is going to give us more of a, granular breakout by week. If we come here down to sales by salesperson by date, again, it's going to show a trend. Let's refresh this real quick and pick a different date range. Let's take a look at the last 3 months. There we go, a little bit better. You can see different salespeople selling different things, trends up, down, got dollar amounts over here on the left-hand side, and then just trending by the last 3 months. And you've got different lines for each salesperson here. And then over here, we've got more of a bar chart that shows who's selling what. Obviously a little skewed here in my demo instance as I tag myself more often than not. But again, you can tag different folks, and then coming in here, you can see all the detail of what invoices they've been tagged on or what orders they've been tagged on. 2 more, we've got a by customer over here. So again, you can see sales by customer over a period of time. You can also see sales by customer and invoice. Down here, it's just going to show mostly a detailed view of all of the invoices that have been created and posted during the time frame you've selected. So again, if I did something like today, probably only going to have a few results here. As you can see, I've got 1 result of something that was posted today. However, if I go to the last 3 months, there's going to be much more data in that grid. The final one that we want to share today is going to be this back order tab of the dashboard. This is simply going to show you 2 different things. The first one is going to be back orders by customer. So this is going to show all the different orders by customer, what item is on that order that's back ordered currently. So you can see here that we've got 2 different orders for 2 different customers. They're both buying that Microsoft Surface 9. This customer's buying 5, this customer's buying 4. As you can see, the quantity available is -9 because we have nothing in inventory, and it's showing up on our back order report because then now down here you can see, okay, these Microsoft Surfaces, I've got -9 quantity available. It's all going to be back on back order currently until those come in. So it's just a quick way to check for your customers to see what's currently on back order. So that's a quick glimpse at our sales dashboard, both the setup and the functionality. We've also got a few other dashboards that I've mentioned. All of this is available currently on Microsoft's App Source for download, free for 60 days for any of our dashboards. Also have a few other products, not dashboard related, but more productivity related. So please check those out in Microsoft's App Source for Business Central. We hope you really enjoyed the video today. If you have any questions, feel free to reach out to anybody on our team and we'd be happy to help. And we look forward to hearing from you. Thanks.